Jolly good show, Major.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
What's going on, TTC? New Rob report. Okay, so the day has gone by. We've all had time to learn, you know, and comprehend and understand and take it all in as far as this whole Percy Harvin thing, 12th man. At first, you saw my previous video, it was a mind-boggling concept. Upon further review, some things have been brought to light that were overall kept pretty good under wraps. Now, I don't know about you cats back home. Maybe you guys might have had a wind of this, but I'm getting the idea that not very many people, if any, knew about the issues that were happening behind the scenes with our Seahawks. We all saw, you know, the difficulties we were having on offense with trying to get Percy the ball, which I didn't really appreciate. I'll get to that in a second. But apparently, as I said earlier in my video, apparently Percy's been going TO on the, well, I take that back. You know, Percy's been going Percy on the Seattle Seahawks. Now, Percy has a track record all the way back to college of having anger management issues and insubordination and, you know, whatever other, you know, word you want to throw in there, problems like that. That's part of the reason he was more or less ran out of Minnesota. You know, he was, you know, Minnesota required a whole lot more to their acquiring team, or from the acquiring team, to let him go. But you know, but he had basically overstayed his welcome there, or he became expendable for the right price anyway there. And you know, unfortunately, the same thing has happened here in Seattle. I don't know what kind of situation a player needs to walk into to just come in and be happy, just come in and be content. What better situation can you, as any player, what better situation can you just pack your bags from where you are, get on the plane, get off the plane, get picked up, walk on in, and be on a Super Bowl contender? What better situation can you ask for than to get a jersey with your number and name on it and end up with a Super Bowl ring when, for the most part, you didn't do shit to earn it? For the most part. Not saying he didn't do nothing, because he obviously did something. You know, he had his hand on the ball a couple of times last season. We all saw the Super Bowl. But for the most part, didn't really do shit to get that ring on his finger, but he's got one. And you can't come into this situation and just be content and happy and just fall in line and be on board with the atmosphere that Pete Carroll and John Schneider have created there in Seattle. You can't find a way to be content and happy in that environment. Hey, if that's the case, then so long, Percy Harvin. We don't need you, and, you know, get the fuck out of here. You know, I would be a Percy Harvin apologist as long as I know that he's wearing that Seahawk name on his jersey, and you know, I'll back him up. You know, I'll back him up anything he may do, as long as he's doing it for the Seahawks. But I won't accept any player being a cancer on my team. I just won't, and neither will Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll's already shown this. Pete, and I applaud Pete Carroll, you know, for now people now sports media is is attacking both sides against the middle. On one hand, they're saying, oh, it was a bad choice to pick up Percy Harvin in the first place. They knew he was a risk. We gave up too much to get him, yada yada yada. But that's all bullshit. People are, hindsight's 2020. You know, it wasn't looking like it was a waste of money when he was returning that second half kickoff for a touchdown in the Super Bowl. It was like, hey, that's why they were saying that's why they paid him. No big deal. He didn't play during the season. He'll be healthy next season. But this is why they paid him. It was all good that he sat out the whole season because when he was healthy, he was able to do that. So everybody now is talking about how, oh, it was a bad mistake anyway. Come on, give me a break. Give me a break. People are just gonna say what they say to get people to listen to them. I don't sign on for that. It was a good pickup. Even with what we gave up to get him, a first round and 2/3 or something like that, whatever, because he's Percy Harvin. I'm sure Daryl Bevel vouched for him to say that he would come in and be able to fall in line in this atmosphere in Seattle, and it just didn't happen. And it's nobody's fault except Percy's. You can't blame an organization for trying to bring in a player who's going to help with the idea that they're going to help the organization, help the team win. It's all about winning, and we did, and he helped a little bit. I'm gonna miss the fact that we have him when we have him on the field. The defense is sweating bullets. Defense, has to be aware of Percy Harvin all the time. We don't have that factor anymore. Percy Harvin, man, it's a damn shame. I'm down here in the San Diego area, but I listen to KJR so I can just get my fix of my hometown stuff, get my Seahawk talk in. I'm listening to them, and it was crazy because I thought my app had closed because the way they were talking, and they stopped. They all stopped. Like the guy who was talking, he stopped, and then he kind of stumbled over his words for a second because he had seen the tweet come in from Jay Glazier, and couldn't believe it himself. And I mean, they had to verify and figure out whether Jay Glazier's account had gotten hacked or something. I didn't believe it for the first couple minutes, and then every few more minutes, that passed, it was becoming more and more apparent that it actually happened. And now there you got these guys talking about how now, the Seahawks with Percy Harvin were just barely an average. Now immediately, automatically, Seattle's receiving core is the worst in the league. You're going to get that from the national media because we have no big name players on our offense now, or not as receivers anyway. No big name receivers. We just don't. We don't need big name receivers. Everybody can calm down. The only person we're missing is Golden Tate. Okay, and I am not worried. I'm not worried that I'm missing Percy Harvin. We've got guys that don't even suit up, that can't even suit up on the game day, that can produce, that are ready to produce. The only reason that they are not playing is because there's just no room for them to play. There hasn't been room for them to play. With Percy being gone, we'll see what happens. Brian Walters, I don't know that Brian Walters is going to be that guy, but he's, it's his next man up. Next man up. I'm anxious to see what Norwood's going to do. I'm anxious to see what Richardson's going to be able to do, but they're definitely going to get their opportunities now. Yeah, Percy Harvin, man. Percy Harvin, it was real. It was fun, but apparently it wasn't real fun because his ass is out of there, and I like it. I love it. I like the fact that Pete Carroll and John Schneider are not having no bullshit. I like that they've set that tone. They set that precedence already. When we had we signed T.O. Was it last season or the year before? And he didn't make it through. He didn't make it through the first 2 weeks of training camp. Like, nope, not gonna work. Not gonna work, T.O. I don't think, if I remember correctly, it wasn't because of his performance. It was because there was already issues with him, behind the scenes. Let him go. You may remember when Pete Carroll brought in Lindell White. Remember Lindell White? Lindell White was playing with I think Tennessee, and was out of the league for a couple years. And when Lindell White, or at least a year or two, and he brought in Lindell White, and apparently Lindell White had lost some weight and gotten stronger. And according to Pete, because Lindell White went to didn't he go to USC? I'm pretty sure Lindell White went to USC. So Pete Carroll knew who Lindell White was. and he apparently had come in looking better than he ever had looked. Then he got caught smoking weed. Pete Carroll said, sorry, can't do it. Can't do it. And kicked him right off the team before he even got started. I was excited. You know, Lindell, if it wasn't for that happening, we never would have got Marshawn Lynch. We never would have. I mean, and you know, hindsight again is 2020. We got Marshawn Lynch, and you know, we got beast mode. But you know, if Lindell White hadn't you know, not been able to put down the blunt, we never would have had Marshawn Lynch. We'd be doing Lindell White stuff right now. Who knows what would have happened? You know, Brandon Browner, Walter Thurman. You know, can't lay off the chronic. Out. I appreciate it. I will much rather have a team full of players who are going to put the team first. That's what makes the bond between players. Makes a team a team. No one player is bigger than the team. Nothing is bigger than the 12. And I don't care if it's Marshawn Lynch or Russell Wilson or John Ryan. You know, it don't matter. It don't matter. Richard Sherman, any one of them who is not going to be a Seahawk shouldn't be a Seahawk. But Percy Harvin, man, he's obviously got problems, because if you can't walk into that situation, if you can't walk into this situation right here and be content, then you know you got problems. You got personality problems. Okay, you've got all kinds of issues going on upstairs if you can't walk into this and be okay. So we got the Rams. We got the Rams coming up on Sunday at the Rams. It's going to be interesting. You know, now I'm sure there's going to be more talk about the absence of Percy Harvin than there will be about the game, you know, as a whole. I'm sure every single time a pass play, you know, comes up with a negative outcome, I'm sure they're going to say, "Oh, boy, that normally that play would be going to Percy Harvin. Let us run a bubble screen or a wide receiver screen, and or heaven forbid we try to run a jet sweep or an end around type play. Heaven forbid we do anything like that. Oh my goodness. Whoever's calling that game is going to be all over the Percy Harvin conversation. It's gonna go viral for sure. It will certainly go viral if we do any of those plays that typically have been set up for Percy on Sunday. I bet you we will. I bet you we will, just because I would say maybe in the game plan, maybe they would expect the Rams not to expect it because Percy's not there. So maybe they'll do it anyway. Maybe they'll let Richardson, you know, catch one, or Baldwin can run the bubble screen. You know, I don't know. I think I like the wide receiver screen more than the bubble screen. Because you know the bubble screen has a little more action, and I think there's too much writing on the block with the bubble screen. The wide receiver screen, I think, is a little more direct. There's not so much movement. When you run that bubble screen, the receiver has to retreat back and come around the block, and it's just, you know, I don't know. Anyway, I don't need to get into all that. Darrell Bevell already said that he's going to put an exclamation point on the running game. He's going to make it a point to make sure Marshawn gets the ball. So hopefully that runs true. It's going to be an interesting Sunday. The Sunday is going to be dominated by talk of Percy Harvin. I don't think he's going to play in New York. I don't think that works that way, because he has to pass a physical and all that kind of stuff. So he won't be suiting up. This is what gets me. This is how bad it had to have been. I mean, we gave up a first and 2/3 for Percy to get him. Okay, give him a lot. Now the first and the first round pick and the 1/3 round pick, that's already gone by. But there's still a whole other 3rd round pick that we gave up for him that we haven't gotten yet. And so technically we, you know, depending on this conditional pick, we kind of got that back. So, you know, we kind of got what we paid for in terms of, you know, the picks that have already gone by. We gave up a 1st round, and we gave up a 3rd round from the draft that's already happened. So we've already paid that money. So it's you can't really consider that we didn't get our money's worth. I mean, you can say we didn't get our money's worth because he wasn't on the field that much, but regardless of whether he was in the field or not, that money's already been gone. That money's already been sent down the river. That's water under the bridge, right? What we're missing now is that other third round pick that we gave up that isn't until this year. But we got a conditional pick for this draft coming up, and assuming it's comparable, maybe it ain't so bad. So, but yeah, I mean, we gave up. We almost just said, hey, fucking take him. It's gotta be pretty bad when you take a player like Percy Harvin and you say, you know what, fuck it, just take him. Just give me whatever you got in your pockets. Look, how much do you want for him? You know what? Just give me whatever you got in your pocket. That's basically what we said, I guess, right? And then like, yo, hey man, how much do you want? You know what I'm saying? Like, no bartering, no you didn't have to haggle us. No. It's, look, just how much do you want for him? Hey bro, check it out. You can have him. Just give me whatever you got in your pocket, and you can have him, and he's yours. That means that dude was a cancer. He was a festering, cancerous, disgusting sore in the side of the Seattle Seahawks. And we're better off without him. That's all I got. I might do another actual hate week video for the Rams. Maybe not. We'll see. Fuck the 49ers. Go Hawks.